Good morning. Good morning and welcome to our Unitarian Universalist Church, which includes our congregations here in Birmingham and in Tuscaloosa. Whoever you are, whoever you love, wherever you are today and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. To all who are here this morning in person or online, welcome home. We have lots of announcements this morning, so I hope you will put your listening ears on and strap in. You'll find announcements in your order of service or on the slides if you are watching from home today. If you require any type of accommodation during our service this morning, we have ushers in the back who are available to assist. Please fill out your connection card. It's found within your order of service. And let's see, I'm sorry, I already lost my place. Oh my gosh, this is a complicated script today. All right, I'm so sorry, y'all. Folks online, your connection card can be found in the link in the description in the chat. We appreciate everyone filling out your connection card today. You may have noticed that Reverend Julie is not here this morning. She's actually with our Tuscaloosa congregation today. So we have two beloved members of our UUCT congregation here with us who are going to be speaking during our sermon portion of today's service. As a reminder, you guys might have seen Reverend Julie's email or social media posts. There is yet another gift card scam going around. Reverend Julie would like to remind everyone that she will never ask you to donate gift cards. So if you unfortunately fell victim to this scam, you should contact your bank and just see if they can report that as a fraudulent charge and reverse the charges so you can get your money back. And as always, we're working to mitigate these schemes of people impersonating our precious Reverend. We do have a legitimate fundraiser coming up, though, next weekend, and that is our bingo night, and you'll hear a little bit more about that later today. We do need some help with coffee on Sunday mornings. We had a great new helper in Jeff today, but if you are interested in Jeff did an awesome job with coffee. But if you want to join our coffee committee, please reach out to Farrah or Grant Tatum, and they'll get you connected. Reverend Julie is going to be hosting 3 writing workshops. Those are beginning on January 22nd after church. One will be on the Enneagram. One is about writing your own statement of belief, which is called a credo. And one is about funeral planning. So if you'd like to participate in any of those, please mark those on your connection card this morning, and we can ensure that we have enough supplies for all of those workshops. We also have our art exhibit, Diane Tucker's Art. It's going to be closing on January 15th, but until that day, art is available for purchase still. And there will be a closing reception. That is going to be next Sunday, the 15th, from 2 to 4 p.m., and everyone is welcome to attend that. And we have a couple of special announcements. I'd like to invite Stan Johnson from Alabama Arise, which is our Share the Plate recipient this month, and he's going to come and talk to us for just a moment.
Good morning. My balance, I didn't bring my cane. I'm a long hauler, but I'm still here. Yeah, it sort of knocked me down, but I got back up. But my balance is off. But anyhow, I'm here to talk about Alabama Arise. And Alabama Arise is an organization which you belong to as a congregation, along with another, say, 150 plus churches, organizations, other UUs, community groups, so forth. Also, we have over 1,700 individual members that have joined Arise, and if you so desire to join but feel like the $15 is too much, just let me know, because we also have scholarships. and we will make sure that you become a member via our scholarship program. I know that I have 5 minutes. I have been run off the stage in Huntsville, so I understand the 5 minutes. But anyhow, the issues that we work on, organizations like yours bring them to the body, and they vote on them in September, every 3rd Saturday in September. And they vote on them, and then we work on them. And we also provide information for you so that you can talk to your legislator about the issues and educate them, because unlike, say, Congress up at the Capitol, they don't have staff. Only the senators have staff, and it's very limited. They might have 1 or 2 people, maybe just 1. And the House folks in Alabama, they have none. I don't know if you knew that. But anyhow, so a lot of times we're educating them. And let me just say this. Our work is long-term. In other words, to get an issue through, sometimes it takes a lot of time. In 1935, the governor instituted the income tax, and also the threshold was $4,600 for a family of 4 to begin paying tax. And in 1935, $4,600 was a lot of money. The problem is that we were still trying to get that raised in 2000, and finally got it raised in 2006. So I'm just saying, you got to be in for the long haul in working with any type of reform here in Alabama. One exception, one of our organizations, the Food Bank up in Huntsville, presented a proposal to establish Montregal enabling legislation. And what that is, it's a worker cooperative like they have in Spain. And I'd be darned if that didn't go through during the legislative session, and Fob James was the governor then, he signed it. So things can be done. Also, we are really grateful that Governor Ivey, although she didn't sign in Medicaid expansion, she did expand the coverage for women after they have their child. It was just 2 or 3 months, and she expanded it to 12 months because we were losing a lot of poor women that were, after they had their baby, had complications. So, and they had no medical coverage, so she did extend that. So that's the kind of work we do. We put out a lot of fires. A lot of the stuff that they present in the legislation is bad stuff. It comes from, I don't even want to say right-wing groups. It comes off, I don't know where it comes from, Pluto somewhere. But anyhow, we have to put those fires out. And so a lot of our work is defense, and we really appreciate you being part of the team. And my granddaughter is here from Puerto Rico. She's 8 years old, and my daughter brought her over. I very seldom get to see them, and they're going to leave this week, so I promised I would go and fix a spaghetti dinner, so I'm going to leave you guys. And you guys have a wonderful service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stan. And now we have a couple more announcements. I'll invite Courtney first, and then we'll have Samantha, and then our Justice Committee.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be fairly quick for you this morning. You may have noticed in our announcements that we have our Coming of Age program starting up. And if you haven't noticed, here's your opportunity to notice now. Yay! This is a program for kids aged 13 to 16. And it is part of the Unitarian Universalism faith that helps kids kind of identify what their beliefs are. You know, we're non-creedal, non-dogmatic, so we kind of develop this on our own. So we have a coming of age program that we get together and kind of hash out these ideas. Super cool for those of you that are 13 to 18. I see a lot of you grown-ups looking at me like, wishing you could do this. Sorry. But you can go to Reverend Julie's creed writing workshop, same thing. But anyway, I invite anyone who has interest in their teens taking part of this program to reach out to me via email, or give me a call, or grab me after service, or flag me down. But yeah, coming of age, coming up, starting later this month. Our first meeting will be on the 29th, and we have some informational sessions before that. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Samantha Lalak. I am one of 3 members of our stewardship committee. The other 2, Michelle Pitts and Sarah Moody as well, may approach you at some point in time for money. If that's the case, it's real. We're starting our stewardship funding drive in February, but we're having an event this upcoming Saturday on the 14th. It's bingo. We had a really successful bingo night end of last year, and we had a lot of requests for a bingo day. Because some folks don't like driving at night, understandably, and they wanted something on a Saturday. So next Saturday, 10 a.m., January 14th, we're having our bingo from 10 to 12 or until prizes run out. So if you have any Christmas presents, stuff lying around the house that you don't need, if you got double of something, please donate it as a prize. You can bring it to the church office by this Thursday at noon, so the 12th by noon. They will have cards for $5 each, and again, it's a fundraiser, so we encourage that you buy a new card each round if you can help out and afford that. If not, you can play the same card each time, but we do encourage a new card each round. There's snacks and drinks available. Alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages will be available for purchase as well when you get here. It's a good time. We had so much fun last time. It was a really fun night of camaraderie, bonding, a lot of laughs, as I called bingo poorly. So yeah, that's the big thing. If you have children that you would want to attend bingo, they can come. Or if you have little ones that may not be able to participate, you can request child care through Courtney. Hope to see you there, but again, if you have anything you want to donate, big or small, just bring it to the office by Thursday at noon. Oh, yes, Lizzie. 10 a.m. We are not those kind of people. Yeah, we don't. 10 a.m. Daylight hours, yeah, can't stay out that late. But yeah, usually it lasts around 2 hours or so. Last time we went a little over because we were having too much fun, and it lasted about 3 hours. So, all right, we'll see y'all there. Thank you.
Good morning. In addition to our Reproductive Justice Task Force meeting, immediately following the service today in the library, everyone is welcome. The Justice Committee is also sponsoring Doug Lightfoot from the Tuscaloosa UU. He's going to be with us this morning at 11 a.m. or at the end of the service, whichever comes first, in the picket room, which is just off the narthex. Doug is going to be talking about the Move to Amend campaign that some of you may be familiar with. It's a national campaign to undo the 2010 Citizens United campaign law that was put into effect. The UU Church in Tuscaloosa has already signed on to support and sponsor the undoing of that amendment, and Doug would like the UUCB to consider that as well this year. He's done a lot of work both in Tuscaloosa and nationally, and we're just kind of starting that conversation about Move to Amend. So if anybody would like to learn more about that, we'll be in the picket room for just about 15 minutes after the service. Please join us. Thanks a lot.
The prelude prepares us for worship. Please rise in body or in spirit for the lighting of our chalice. At this hour, in small towns and big cities, in single rooms and ornate sanctuaries, many of our sibling Unitarian Universalist congregations are also lighting their flaming chalice. As we light our chalice today, let us remember that we are part of a great community of faith. May this dancing flame inspire us to fill our lives with the Unitarian Universalist ideals of love, justice, and truth. In the spirit of inclusivity and welcome, please take just a few moments to greet those around you.
seated for our opening words. Really ding very loud. In honor of the risk takers, those that hold the vision with clarity and charge forward with optimism, even in the face of others' doubts, you are our lamp lighters and our guides. May we never forget the courage it takes to lead the way forward. In honor of the cautious skeptics, those who gather the information needed to navigate tumultuous waters of change, you are the map makers and the preparers of the stores. May we appreciate your attention to the details that keep us on course. In honor of the doubters, those who may fear the changing tides of a turbulent world, you are the anchors. You remind us of where we have been and where we are as a community now. May we relish your commitment to our history and your passion for who we have become. In honor of the dreamers, those that imagine what we can be and what this world can be, you are the wind that blows the sails of change, pushing us ever forward. May we revel always in your whimsy and hope that dares us to never stop becoming. May the work that we do together strengthen this community and our world. May we heed the call to always hold the vision of this free church ever in our sight and to work towards justice always. Together we wield a powerful spirit that is strengthened by the gifts of us all. Please rise together in body or in spirit and join us in singing the number 145 hymn in your hardcover hymnal.
Hi, I'm Ginger Campbell, member of the board. Our church is supported by those who call our church home and by those who support the efforts of our church to change our world for the better. If this is your first time, please pass the plate. We're just glad you're here. We share our cash plate every week with organizations whose work reflects UU values to care for the marginalized persons, advocate for real and systemic change, defend our environment, and promote justice and equity for all. Today's Share the Plate is Alabama Arise. Alabama Arise is a statewide member-led organization advancing public policies to improve the lives of Alabamians who are marginalized by poverty. Our membership includes faith-based, community, nonprofit, and civic groups, grassroots leaders, and individuals from across Alabama. Alabama Arise is a nonprofit organization, and our work is funded by private foundations and members like you. Our members select annual legislative agenda focusing on the issues that matter most to alleviate poverty and its effects. We appreciate your donations, either by placing them in the plate or by mailing donations to the church or by using PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. Our Venmo account is at UUCBHAM, and our Zelle account is office@uucbham.org. Please designate whether your offering is for UUCBHAM or Alabama Arise. Thank you for your generous support of our church and the Share the Plate recipient. May we give in love and hope. Did it?
Now is that time in our community when we share what we carry with us today, whether it be joy or sorrow. For those of you who are online this morning, please feel invited to share your joys and sorrows in the chat. If you want to show others that you're listening to them and thinking about them, you can type their name in the chat with a parenthesis around it. For those of you who are in person today, you are now invited to come forward and drop a stone in the water in honor or memory of what is on your heart today. Please come forward. I drop 2 final stones for any unspoken joys or sorrows among us today. Please join me in the spirit of meditation, followed by a brief moment of silence. Our meditation this morning is written by the Reverend Leslie Fales. All that we have been separately and all that we will become together is stretched out before and behind us, like stars scattered across a canvas of sky. We stand at the precipice, arms locked together like tandem skydivers, working up the courage to jump. Tell me, friends, what do we have to lose? Our fear of failure, our mistrust of our own talents? What do we have to lose? A poverty of the spirit, the lie that we are all alone? What wonders await us in the space between the first leap and the moment that our feet, our wheels, however we move our bodies across this precious earth, touch down softly on an unknown soil. What do we have to lose that we can't replace with some previously unimaginable joy? Blessed are you, Spirit of life, who has sustained us and enabled us to reach this very moment. Give us courage in our leaping and gratitude in our landing, and share with us the joy of a long and fruitful ministry together. Let us take a brief moment of silence. Amen, and blessed be.
Good morning again. I'd love if the children would come forward for a story today. And anyone else who'd like to come up for a closer look, because there are pictures. And while I'm waiting for everyone to come join me, hi Tuscaloosa, hi Reverend Julie, we have Anna and Susan here. We're keeping them very safe, just so you know. Hello friends, hello friends. There are lots of new friends today. I'm very excited. I really hope I get to meet everyone. So, I have a story to share with you today. It is called Perfectly Norman. Perfectly Norman. Let's see what Norman has to share with us today. Henry, you know what? You might want to scooch this way a little bit so you can see pictures better. Do you and Liza want to come over here so you can see a little better? I don't want you to miss the good parts. Okay, let's see here. So, Norman had always been normal. Perfectly normal. Until one day, he grew wings. He grew a pair of wings. Now, Norman had imagined growing taller, or that he might grow a beard like his dad, but he had never imagined that he'd be growing a pair of wings. Still, they were here now, so he decided to test them out right away. I would do the same thing, just so you know. If I had wings, definitely test them out. Soon, Norman was swooping around and generally having the most fun ever. But then, he had to go in for dinner. You see, Norman had always been so normal, he really didn't know how to tell his parents or how his parents would feel about his extraordinary wings. Uh-oh. Dinner! And so he went in, and Norman covered himself up with a great big coat. I don't know about that. But his parents didn't notice the wings. But they did think it was odd that he was wearing a coat indoors. That would be a little strange, especially here in Alabama. Let's see. But bath time was definitely problematic. Can you imagine trying to take a bath in a big, heavy winter coat? That would be very hard. But so was bedtime. The coat was hot and uncomfortable, but Norman had decided that no one should see his wings ever. So the next day, Norman went to the park. But he was far too hot to play any of his favorite games. Can you imagine being in Alabama, like in the summer, wearing your big heavy coat to cover up your wings and then trying to play outside, that would be miserable. That would be very, very, very miserable. And right, I'd stay inside. And so it went on. Long car journeys were unbearable. Oh, no, that would be very hard. And swimming in the pool was dreadful. Nope, that wouldn't work either. And that was nothing compared to his friend's birthday party. Oh no. You can't get in a bouncy house with your big heavy coat on. Nope. So, the only time Norman could feel normal was when it rained. Like today. He felt perfectly normal in his big heavy coat. So, but it doesn't rain all the time. So one day, a boy tried to pull off his coat, and Norman had to run away, hot-faced and angry and a little sad. He wished that he had never grown these stupid wings. Ugh. But then he saw some birds high up in the sky, and he remembered the joy of his first flight. And it occurred to Norman that it was not the coat, or was not the wings that were making him miserable. It was the coat, not the wings. Right? So, why don't you take that scruffy thing off? Suggested his mom and dad. But Norman looked up at them hesitantly, and his parents smiled back and nodded. Norman smiled back, and then he threw off his coat and let his wonderful wings fan out. Oh, they're so pretty. So Norman leapt up into the air, and finally he was free of his coat. He noticed that there was a few other children wearing thick, heavy coats of their own. Uh-oh. They looked up at Norman and around at one another nervously, and then there was a moment of pause. But then, whoosh, the sky was filled with flying people. Norman had never felt so happy. He realized that there was no such thing as perfectly normal, but he was perfectly Norman, which is just as it should be. The end. It's all those things that make us different that make it more exciting. What's up, Royal? I know, it was that kept you like curious. You had to learn more, right? Like musical notes? Exactly. Well, grown-ups, could you do us a favor and sing us downstairs? We're going to sing once all together, and then we're going to go downstairs. Right, Chip? Awesome. All right, let's go.
some visitors with us today, I wanted to provide a brief introduction. For those who don't know, this church, UUCB, recently joined into a partnership with the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tuscaloosa. This partnership is a financial one. It's also a shared ministry of our Reverend Julie, and our staff, and really just a partnership to help grow the presence of UUs in Central Alabama. So our guest speakers today are Anna and Susan from the Tuscaloosa congregation, here to talk to us about what this partnership means to them. So please join me in giving them a big round of applause.
I get to be taller. So, good morning. And thank you so much for the opportunity to visit with you this morning to talk about the partnership that we've created between UUCB and UUCT. I'm Anna Self-Schuber. I've been a member of UUCT since about the mid-90s. I am a lifelong atheist. And when my 5-year-old son said he wanted to go to church, I panicked. But I found the UU church. So it has been a lifelong and a lifeline. Even though I'm an atheist, I've raised my children to understand religion, and the UU church embodies all the values that I hold very dear. I'm also a professor at the University of Alabama. I teach various classes in the area of women's studies, religion, and literature. Although I have retired from administration at UA, I still teach, and my area of research is religion and the nuns. That's the N-O-N-E-S, not the N-U-Ns. Or in other words, I study people who have left organized religion or never joined an organized religion. I'm also a quilt artist, so now you know a little about me. I have held many positions in the UU Church in Tuscaloosa through the years. Started off as hospitality chair, newsletter creator, youth group leader, twice as president, and I've been on the worship committee for a long time. I've also acted as what I believe you call a worship service leader, we call a lay service leader, and I've been many times in the pulpit just as a speaker. I guess my greatest church sacrifice is that my daughter, who last spring became a UU minister and is currently the minister of Macon, Georgia High Street Church, and the author of your opening words. I'm so proud. So, the history of our UU Tuscaloosa Church is long and varied. We have over 50 years of fellowship and have participated in many events in Tuscaloosa, both on and off the campus, having to do with such things as civil rights, gay rights, water and land rights, working with inmate mothers in Alabama, Meals on Wheels, and of course, we also work with Alabama Arise. Our church population has been fed mostly from the various families working at the University of Alabama and local population who have found us through our community outreach projects. We always march in the Martin Luther King Day Parade, and we're known as the people in the yellow t-shirts. So people sometimes come looking for us because of those t-shirts. They're important. Although COVID has had a huge effect on our church numbers, there is a foundational group that remains and wants desperately to continue. We have our beloved church worship leader, Lynn Snow, to thank for the idea of this partnership. She comes from the Buddhist background, and the partnership model is how many Buddhist groups get started. She broached the subject with a few of us about doing a partnership with someone. At the time, we weren't sure who. And then we did a lot of research throughout the United States and other UU churches, finding one, I believe, in Tulsa that had done a partnership, and then there was one in Arizona. And then we came up with the idea of contacting Birmingham. How fortunate we are to have reached out to you and gotten such a warm reception. As so many of you have said during our getting to know each other phase, it is important, very important, that liberal religious experience is available in Alabama, and we want desperately to continue that. We do not know what the future will unfold in Tuscaloosa. We have the hopeful sale of our current building, and we're hoping for good things in that. Although this partnership was envisioned as a way to keep afloat for a while, it may be that we continue on as a joined group into the future and help each other grow and thrive. That is certainly within the realm of possibility. Susan McKee, who will speak in a few minutes, and I met just a couple of nights ago to plan 3 months ahead activities for us, all of us. We are thinking, we want to come up with methods of joining together to do things that we both enjoy. We were thinking of short trips. Birmingham, you can help us explore Birmingham. We were thinking of Huntsville. There's Low Mill that would be fun to go to as a group. Going down to Montgomery and doing the Lynching Museum or the Rosa Parks Museum. There's all kinds of things that we could do together. We are trying to come up with ways for us to interact, and now we have a reason to come to Birmingham. And of course, we want you to feel free to come to Tuscaloosa and join us for all the events there, other than football. Although football is important. We want to do some shared and separate fundraising events for a possible internship that we both may share into the fall. So that's something to look forward to. I'm sure there are many ways that we can help each other in all of these endeavors. We want to thank our new friends that we've made. Of course, Reverend Julie, Ginger, Diane, Courtney, and Flip, along with others that we've met just this morning. You've been very warm and welcoming. We have come to love our connection on Sundays with the choir, because we don't have one, the children's story, and I really, really, really wish you could have heard the ruckus we created during your Christmas pageant. I'm sure that anyone walking by our church on that particular morning would have thought there was an entire barnyard full of friends in there. And it became a contest in terms of loud and animal types. So I wish we had recorded it. Thank you for lifting our spirits on that day and for all the days that will come. We look forward to our future together and getting to know each and every one of you, and of course, sharing love and affection. Thank you.
And I am Susan McKee, the other half. And delighted to be here. This is my second time with you. I did come with Lynn maybe 4 or 5 months ago when we started talking about the possibility of partnership. And today I want to share a little bit about who I am and why this means so much to me. 10 years ago in June, I lost my husband, John McKee. And John was a clinical psychologist that came into Alabama in the 60s as director of mental hygiene for the state and set up community mental health centers. Well, I met John and fell in love with him. Took me 10 years to catch him, but it was worth it. John was much older than I by 24 years, but we had 31 years of a very happy marriage in which we were business partners, friends, lovers, and just had a very good marriage. And John gave me a lot of things: the love of opera and classical music, the love of animals, but probably most importantly, Unitarianism. He was known as the, what was it? Now I forgot. Anyway, he was a very outspoken Unitarian. And so when we married, my background was that I came from what I call a broken home in terms of religion. My father was Catholic, my mother was Methodist, and so Dad wanted me to be baptized, Mother wanted me to be a part of the Presbyterian Church, and so growing up I was always torn. And so when I got married, I said to myself how important religion is to a family and for a marriage. And so I joined the Unitarian Church, though that also took me about 10 years to do. And prior, when we got married, I had to have 2 ministers, one from the Protestant church and one was a Unitarian, because I wanted to make sure that it took and that it would be, and that it would be recognized. So my journey is very interesting, and I cannot say how much the religion has done for me. Now, I'm not an atheist or not agnostic. I'm probably closer to the Christian model, but not really. I believe in the principles. And so I want to talk about our little church a little bit and so you know where we are and what we're trying to do. I'm a member of the board, as is Anna, and been the past president now. I've been president a couple of times as well. When you're in a small church, you serve many roles, many hats, and you know the people of the church pretty well. We were once at 100 members, and we stayed at that number a long time, always trying to sort of break the ceiling to get into that next mode, but we never did. We are now down to about 40, and on a typical Sunday, we may have 15 to 20 people in our service. We've lost a lot. We lost a lot of our children. We no longer have our CRE program, which brought so much delight, as you see today, when the children come in and bring their love and excitement and viewpoints. So why is that? And where do we go from here? Well, our board set some goals for us this year, and one is to work with you in a partnership, collaboration of some type. We also turned to a neighboring church in Tuscaloosa, a Presbyterian church, where I was married. It's funny how things sort of circle back. And that church has opened up its doors for us for space. So if our primary goal is to sell our building, that will give us some funds and untie our assets that we have in our land and our property to be able to do things. We have been without a minister until we met you, and it's not fun to be without a minister. Because when someone comes into your church, if you've attracted, and we attract people, but we don't seem to bring them back, because when they come in, they see 15 people sitting around, no minister, no children's CRE, and they don't come back. So struggling is not the word, because we are determined, okay? We're not feeling self-pity. We're not crying, we're trying to find a way. We know how important our church is for our community, not only for folks like me that had no place, and Anna. We all have similar stories of how we wound up at our church. But we are a beacon of light, and that beacon has to continue to shine. And it's amazing in the 4 weeks that we've been together, or months, or whatever, how long, how much it's given us hope and energy and encouragement. And we are beginning to see possibilities, which is another goal of ours, is our vision, and to grow a CRE and DRE program again. So with your help, and we hope that you see us as well, you know that we need you, and we love you, and we want you. And we also want you to get to know us more, and do come to our little church in the woods. So I thank you, we all thank you, we appreciate you. We hope we can work together, because I think together we can do all sorts of things. Anna just mentioned a few, but if we get around and together and chat, there's so many cross things we can do. We have many professors that are part of our group, our small group. We are driven by social justice. We believe in our principles, and we want those to continue. So I reach out to you. I thank you with all my heart, and hope that we have a good 2023 year and continue to grow and develop. Thank you so much.
Please rise in body or in spirit, and remain standing through our hymn as well as the extinguishing of our chalice. Our closing hymn is number 1014, and that's in your soft cover hymnal. it is our work shared with each other in covenant that creates and sustains this beloved community. We extinguish our chalice, but its light lives on in the directions that we have chosen today. The light of this faith lives on in us together, in our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and spirits. Each week as we gather, we light a common chalice. We sing together, we celebrate, we pray, we reflect, we think, and then we each gather strength from this flame to leave this place, to go out from here, taking the light with us. Amen, and blessed be.